Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Tuesday, August 9th, 2022. Stand up for your country. Now, you watch and listen to us, I know, for the best, most honest news analysis in the country, and that is what we will give you tonight on this big Trump FBI story, which has huge implications for the United States of America. This is a major story. Now, I'm going to give you a lot of information. As I always suggest, you might have a pen and paper handy. I'm going to speak a little slower today because we have so many facts to give you, and facts is what drives a story like this, not emotion, not partisan hysteria. You get plenty of that. Here, you're going to get what we know and how we know it. That is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So this is a political tsunami. This will affect the November midterm election vote and the 2024 presidential vote. So because of that, it affects every one of us in this country. Even the people who don't pay attention don't care. There will be a lot of unintended consequences coming out of this situation. I will run down some of them for you. But first, the facts. Federal Judge Bruce Reinhardt of the Southern District of Florida approved the warrant yesterday to raid Mr. Trump's Palm Beach home. Okay? Judge Bruce Reinhardt. The warrant came after the National Archives in D.C. asked the Justice Department to investigate whether former President Trump broke the law when he took documents to Mar-a-Lago, his home. That was in February. Okay? The search warrant does not suggest that criminal charges are in play or will be forthcoming. However, in order to get that warrant, there has to be the suggestion that a crime might have occurred. Might is the key word. All right? You don't get a warrant unless you can produce evidence of that. And we don't know what the evidence is. We don't know what Judge Reinhardt saw. I don't know if we'll ever know it. We should know it, but we don't know it now. So, according to Eric Trump, who was on television last night, 20 federal cars with 30 FBI agents descended on Mar-a-Lago. Trump's lawyer, Christina Bobb, was there. The Trump organization was given a heads up that this would occur. She was on the premises. All right? And Donald Trump himself said that the raid was not unannounced. So it wasn't an ambush or anything like that. The FBI spent the majority of the day at Mr. Trump's residence. All right? CNN reports that the Biden administration was not given a heads up in advance about the raid. That is probably true because the Attorney General of the Justice Department, Merrick Garland, would want to give his boss, President Biden, cover in case everything goes wrong. Okay? It's Garland who ordered this, and Christopher Wray, the FBI chief, carried it out. So it makes sense that Biden didn't know. Okay? Biden did not mention this in his first speech today. We are monitoring what he does all day. Most likely it will be mentioned later today after we get finished taping this. And we'll have that, of course, tomorrow. I will tweet about it, so stay close to me. It's at Bill O'Reilly if you want to get on a tweet ban. All right, now the National Archives believes that Donald Trump had 15 boxes taken to Mar-a-Lago from the White House. That's what they believe. All right? A grand jury, according to the New York Times, not a reliable source, but a grand jury has been called to look into this matter. Is that true? I would say probably yes, because that's what you would have to show the judge, evidence submitted to a grand jury to get the warrant. Under the Presidential Records Act, a president cannot remove classified information. He has to send it over to the National Archives. He can't destroy it. He can't bring it to his house and play with it or whatever. Okay? So all presidents and White House staff are expected under law to preserve documents that are classified information. Now, we don't know what happened. Nobody knows what happened. I hope we do so, because, again, this is a pretty important situation. But right now, I can't say if Donald Trump removed documents that he should not have removed. I don't know. All right, and nobody else knows either, so if you're going to spend hours watching cable TV, it's just blather. Bilge, B-I-L-G-E, bilge, word of the day. Okay. The perception around the world, of course, is far different than in the United States. Around the world, they don't know our system. They don't understand warrants. They don't know due process. They don't know anything. So the headlines, I'll just give you a couple. In China, FBI search for Mar-a-Lago may stop Trump from running again in 2024. That's the headline in China. In Iraq, and that goes all over the news, all over the Middle East, IraqiNews.com, it is, quote, the recovery of the boxes raises questions about Trump's adherence to presidential records laws enacted after the 1970s Watergate scandal. So it'll be spun negative against Donald Trump and the USA. And people overseas will say, oh, Trump is going to get arrested, he's going to go to jail. That's what will happen. Now, tomorrow on this broadcast, we'll report what the BBC, British Broadcasting Corporation, does, and that's the most powerful news agency in the world other than the American news outlet. So we'll have that for you tomorrow. Now, on cable news, of course, all hell broke loose. This is great for ratings on both sides. I'm going to play you two montages, both 46 seconds in length. Trying to be as fair as I can. First is the pro-Trump reaction. Go.
But we also have to keep in mind that the other fearsome agency of the U.S. government, the DOJ and FBI, have also now been incredibly weaponized against their political opponents. And that includes the number one target, which is Donald Trump.
I was a federal agent. I raised my right hand. And I swore to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. And I love this country. This is a freaking disgrace. A disgrace. We don't live in Cuba. We don't live under Kim Jong-un. We live in a constitutional republic, a representative democracy. You have a bunch of FBI agents raiding the home of a former president because they don't like his politics? Are you kidding me?
Okay. And here is the anti-Trump reaction.
Nothing like this has ever happened before, and we don't know how this ends. Tonight's news that the FBI has raided the home of the immediate past president of the United States. It feels both astonishing and sort of inevitable in equal measure.
I think this is probably a moment for Donald Trump, who Teflon Don, who has never really seen any accountability over his entire personal and professional career and pushed every constitutional legal boundary you could conceive of. In this moment, for the first time, is seeing the wheels of justice push back against him. And I think what this demonstrates, as your other guests have explained, is that Merrick Garland is willing to carry this ball across the finish line, regardless of the fallout.
Now, that was a woman named Kim Whaley, who teaches law at American University. And this is the scandal of our country. That woman convicts Trump. She's a law professor. It's insane. It really is. Now, the FBI will be damaged no matter what. No matter what happens, even if Donald Trump did something wrong, by doing what the Bureau did yesterday, it's going to be damaged perhaps forever. The reason is the FBI is already suspect. So if you were watching us last Thursday, you saw our analysis of Christopher Wray's testimony in front of the Senate, the head of the FBI. It was awful. He was terrible. It was beyond belief. I wrote Killing the Mob, which is heavy FBI-centric, tracing the Bureau from its very beginnings all the way up to the War on Terror. This is Killing the Mob. And J. Edgar Hoover was a villain. He weaponized the FBI all day long. There's no doubt he did. But the Bureau did have the respect of the American public. It does no longer. Unless Christopher Wray comes out shortly and says, we did this because of this reason, here it is so all Americans can see it, he's through. He's finished in the court of public opinion. Because you can't just say, oh, I can't comment because there's an active investigation, which is what Wray does all day long. Russian collusion, oh, Wray can't comment. All right? His predecessors, Comey and McCabe and Strzok and all those that have been proven to use the FBI's power to try to damage Trump before and after his presidency, oh, Wray can't say anything about it. And remember, Wray was appointed by Trump. Some of you were, well, why did he do it? I don't know why he did it. Okay? I asked him, President Trump, and he said, well, he was recommended by the highest authorities. I assume that was former Attorney General Bill Barr. Okay? Wray has a conservative past. But now he's an embarrassment. Again, that testimony, if you didn't see us and your BillO'Reilly.com premium concierge members, if you didn't see my analysis of Christopher Wray last week, you got to watch it. He was embarrassing. That's not who should be running the most powerful law enforcement agency in the world. Okay, so the FBI is damaged no matter what. We have a history now regarding Donald Trump of blatantly unfair behavior by the federal authorities. Russian collusion was a debacle. Finally got straightened out, but no action was taken against Comey, McCabe, Strzok, or the other FBI that tried to take Trump down illegally. No action taken against them. They still have their pensions. Then you had the two impeachments driven by Nancy Pelosi, which were ridiculous. As a historian, I can tell you it was absurd what Pelosi tried to do. And now you've got this document thing. So you have a situation where the American public is rapidly losing faith in American government and law enforcement. The open border is a catastrophe. You have any faith in Homeland Security? Do you? All right. Now, I'm going to give you a refresher on Hillary Clinton. Okay? So Hillary Clinton was charged or alleged the same thing, that she took classified information and put it on her personal computers and phone illegally. All right? And she did. The FBI seized her personal computer in August 2015, 7 years ago, found there was an astonishing amount of classified documents on it, and nothing happened. So the FBI, at the end of its investigation, said Hillary Clinton, then Secretary of State, took 2,000 documents she should not have taken. 2,000. Nothing happened. And going back further, you might remember the National Security Advisor under President Clinton, Bill Clinton, a man named Sandy Berger, who did ridiculous things. Roll the tape.
This is an act that is not heavily enforced. It certainly has not historically been criminally enforced. In fact, some of the most egregious cases were handled rather lightly. Sandy Berger being an example. He actually stuffed documents in his socks and snuck them out of a secure location, leaving them at a spot to be retrieved later. He received no jail time and just pled guilty to a misdemeanor. He wasn't even forced to lose his security clearance permanently. It was just a 3-year suspension.
Okay, so what Jonathan Turley is trying to get across is this is not a big deal in the sense that the federal government in the past has not taken it that seriously. But now, of course, it's changed. It's changed, all right? So Hillary Clinton skates on it. The FBI makes a big show of a raid at Trump's place. Now, I just got late information that the FBI had been in to talk to Trump in June, and the former president did hand over some documents. But then Merrick Garland, the Attorney General again, said, well, you didn't turn over all of them. And so he went to the judge to get a warrant, and that's what happened. Okay. That is the memo. I think I have covered it as well as anybody on this planet can cover it. If you don't agree, Bill@BillO'Reilly.com, Bill@BillO'Reilly.com. Let me know what you think.